you can see it really has had some significant results, because students in the role of educators assess their own understanding at a much earlier stage in the cycle of learning. In a traditionally assessed programme, the process may only commence once the summative assessment approaches, and providing answers encourages more searching and holistic responses. Doing so not only tests knowledge derived from the session, but allows students to have an opportunity to seek out and add information from a wider knowledge base, and they discuss things amongst themselves. So the focus is on the assessing for learning. Time spent for us as lecturers in marking written assignments has been greatly reduced. We monitor the blog after each session, posting comments where necessary, as you saw, and we can add these questions to prompt a deeper evaluation or add points that have been overlooked. Because the summative assessment is computer marked via question mark perception, results are visible to tutors within minutes. And from the pool of the learner generated questions, we select those to be loaded into question mark perception to form those multiple choice questions for the summative assessments. Now, the results stem really because students recognised if they've not written all of the exam paper themselves, they've at least seen every question in advance. So the fear of sitting the exam has been reduced. They've effectively been involved from the beginning. We've got a repository of exam questions which form a revision guide, which is to hand, and they have collaboratively collated that with tutors. So once the questions that we've selected have been seen by the external examiner, they're weighted by staff, loaded into question mark and delivered in a random stream. And the external examiners got access to the electronic records throughout the blog, the given answers, the unit evaluations, and the exam questions are quick fire. They demand rapid responses, mirroring the demands that journalists can face in their daily lives. We've raised our results, but more importantly, we've also raised the standards. Because results were so high in that first pilot year, we decided to raise the level of the pass system. So that means that students have increased their knowledge and they've also increased the standard of a pass. The system's been taken on by a partner college who deliver a foundation degree with us, and this supportive online community that's developed around the blogging activity has actually helped to remove some of the negative connotations of assessment. The inability to understand the point of a question and fear of failing are reduced because students are composing those questions and tutors are participating in a really formative process, adding comment, adding information that might have been missed out. There's ownership of the task and of that process of learning. So achieving a satisfactory result almost in bite-sized stages seems much more attainable because the process occurs in stages. It's important not only for the staff but for the students as well. It's very supportive. It is very good for peer and self-assessment opportunities, and students are reading each other's blog posting, taking part in discussions. They're often identifying through the blog the people who've understood something that they themselves have found complex and seeking them out to get peer enlightenment to teach and reinforce learning. As the exam approaches, students, especially those who haven't contributed much to the blog, and there are some, find that this bank of questions and answers is invaluable, and less forthcoming students will seek out those using the blog more effectively to help them prepare for the exam. This participation is one of the chief benefits revealed by this pilot, and in fact it has continued on. This is feedback from students, and they've also not only been positive, but they've played a significant part in developing the process. One of the things that lecturers like is it's a way of pedagogically checking all the way through that what you're delivering is being received and understood as you expected it. Students have also got some really perceptive comments to make, which then increase the value of the lecture following. So it is really valuable. It's an opportunity to show that lecturers and students can't just jump through hoops or know how to pass an exam or deliver a lecture, but have real knowledge, shared knowledge. If there are areas that students haven't understood in a lecture, we don't have to wait till the exam result at the end of term to find out. We know from the blogs that week. so we can be responsive, and in the very next teaching session we can revisit the areas where students appear to need more help or a better explanation than the one we gave the first time. Students also are very keen that we recognise their involvement with the blog. So this is a way that we are changing things, and we're actually developing a mark that recognises that there is a student involvement. So we've learnt that simple, ubiquitous technologies like blogs can create really powerful learning communities for formative assessment and reflective learning. The students who actively participate do become engaged more as learners, and the format makes the delivery of the unit a team effort. It's students and tutors participating and collaborating in the learning process together. But it's not all rosy. There are still the situations that some students fail to engage. Will they always, I ask myself, and staff still find they've got too much work to do. But because the system isn't rigid, it's organic, and we know that there is still work to be done, we are able to make changes. So at the moment we're exploring changes like podcast delivery of comment feedback, or feedback using Dragon voice recognition software, looking at adding in this graded evaluation of involvement in the blogging component, looking at how question mark could be used to evaluate longer written answers rather than using exclusive multiple choice, looking at how the unit's going to cope with ever increasing student numbers, and also investigating how this collaborative approach can be implemented in other disciplines to benefit teaching and learning. My colleague, who's now teaching it, has also developed it in her way, and she's introduced a mock exam, which is a great idea because it allays the student fears of the question mark perception exam system too. So for us, it has been immensely valuable. It's helped students, and it's also helped lecturers. It's an apparently simple, low budget, low technology solution, and it appears to be delivering significant learning results. If you've got questions, comments or suggestions, I would very much welcome them. Thank you.